I took the liberty of going through the Brown season and showing you why Kevin Stefanski's a fucking failure. First game of the season, we're playing the Panthers. We dominated them until the last 8 minutes. We had 2 defensive breakdowns, which will be a theme in the next couple of weeks. And they made a game of it. We had to take a last-second field goal by a rookie kicker to win the game, but we dominated that game until 8 minutes left. Our defense fell apart analytically. We got to win. We're 1-0. And then we play the Jets. We dominated that game too. 30-17 with a minute left. Game's over. Should be 2-0. We fold. Mega collapse. Team never recovered. So we're 1-1. We should be 2-0 though. That was embarrassing. That was Stefanski not coaching. Usually Nick Chubb would go down instead of scoring. If he was told to, like last year, he would have. But he didn't. He wasn't told by the coaching staff, the ill-equipped coaching staff. So we lose that game, but we should be 2-0. The Steelers game, we win. We blow them out 3-0. Then we play the Falcons. We're driving down the field on a scripted drive, of course, by Kevin Stefanski. It's 4th and 3. And, Stefanski immediately rushed to the line of scrimmage on 3rd down, and he went backwards because he's a dumbass. He gets in his own way all the time. So it's 4th and 3. Instead of taking the points on the road without your best players, Myles Garrett, and I think Clowney were playing, he decides to go for it on 4th and 3 at the goal line. And we don't get it. We lose that game 23-20. We should have won that game. So we should be 4-0. We gave that game away. Everyone knows it. So we play the Chargers the next week. We're up 14-0. We end up losing that game 30-28. And they actually gave us another chance to win the game with a minute left. Stefanski butchered that last drive to get in the field goal range. He butchered it. Went backwards. Terrible. So we should have beat the Chargers, be 5-0. I think our record at this time was 2-3 or whatever, but we should have been 5-0. Then we played the Patriots. It was 10-6 at halftime. We ended up by losing that game. 29. Wait. 38-15. It was 10-6 at halftime. Bill Belichick made the adjustment, scored 28 points. We scored 9? 9 points in the second half because Kevin is a fucking jackass. So that's our loss, 5-1. Then we play the Ravens. We're up 13-3 at one time. Stefanski blows momentum, whatever. We have a chance to win the game late in the game again. He blows it. We should have beat the Ravens first game. We should have. We lost 23-20. So we should be 6-1. We played the Bengals. We beat them 38-13 or 38-13. We kill them. 6-1, 7-1, whatever. We play the Dolphins. We get blown out. It's bad weather. It's hot out. We get blown out. Whatever. I accept that. So we go 6-2. Then we play the Bills. We actually have a chance to win that game. We were up, I think 14. We were up at that game something, but we had a chance to win that game. It was in Detroit, and I'll accept that as a loss. So we'll go 6-3. And then we play the Buccaneers. We win that game 7-3. We play the Texans. We win that game 8-3. And then we go to the Bengals. Chance to be 9-3. Our defense is shutting Joe Burrow down first quarter. They're pushed back in the own end zone, and guess what? We call a punt block. Analytics says call a punt block. So we do a punt block, and it changes the whole complexion of the game. 2 plays later, they score a touchdown. Game's over. We lose 23-10. The significance of that game is you called a punt block when your defense had Joe Burrow at their mercy. He was 4-15. Both of the receivers are out. You called a punt block like a dumbass, knowing you were going to get the ball at the 50-yard line anyway, with a chance to score. Analytics told you to call punt block. That's when analytics is just garbage in football. It doesn't tell you that your defense is shutting down a powerful offense. It doesn't tell you that. But it tells you to go after the fucking punt block. So, for all these people saying that Stefanski needs another year with Deshaun Watson, we already know Stefanski's a horrendous coach. I don't want to hear, he needs to learn from his mistakes. The guy... Did you ever notice something about the Bengals game in particular, or any game this season? When they figure out Stefanski's offense, specifically after halftime, we can't make adjustments. Stefanski has not shown the ability to make an in-game adjustment during his whole 3-year tenure. So, why do we want to keep this guy? We already know he's not the right guy. And I don't want to hear Watson came to Cleveland because he wanted to work with Kevin Stefanski. He came to Cleveland because they gave him $230 million. It had nothing to do with coaching by Kevin Stefanski. He could have been Freddie Kitchens. He would have came to Cleveland for $230 million. So yes, if you fire Kevin Stefanski, Deshaun Watson's not going to lose an ounce of sleep over it. So all you idiots out there that think that's why he came to Cleveland, that's not why he came to Cleveland. He came to Cleveland for the money. So if you fire Kevin Stefanski and Paul Depodesta, you can keep Andrew Berry as a salary cap guy. And you definitely got to get a football coach in there and a football GM, someone that can pick players, because this regime, the players they pick are out they're garbage. They're complete garbage. There's not one draft pick that you can sit there and look at and say, well, besides Martin Emerson, out of the, 15 draft picks they selected, they're all garbage. They're all trash. I don't want to hear Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's a great player, but he was a 6th-round pick. He was a diamond in the rough. The bottom line is, if this Browns team wants to contend, they have to get rid of Kevin Stefanski and Paul Depodesta. Jimmy Haslam, Deshaun Watson, you need to come out and tell Jimmy Haslam, blow it all up after this season. Because you need a football coach in there, someone like Brian Flores or even DeMarco Ryans. Anybody. We need football guys. Bring John Dorsey back. Give him full control of the organization again. Let him have full control. Because that was the last time we looked like a football team when John Dorsey was here. What you got going on right now with Depodesta? And Jason Lloyd said, well, he knows how to. He wanted Robert Saleh. This guy doesn't know. If he has any involvement in picking players, he's the worst talent evaluator ever. And, Jason Lloyd, just shut your fucking mouth. You know nothing about football. Stick to basketball, all right? Stick to fucking basketball. You're clueless. You love Stefanski. Aditi Kinkabala loves Stefanski because she's an Ivy Leaguer. All these Ivy League clowns want to stick together. There's a reason I stopped making videos on the Cleveland Browns. After that Chargers game, I just said to myself, I looked at it and being the football savant genius that I am, I said, this team has no chance under Kevin Stefanski and Paul Depodesta. They don't. So until they get rid of these clowns, we're going to be stuck in this spinning tires. We finally have our franchise quarterback, but we got a jackass as a head coach and a fucking horrible general manager. It's going to get worse before it gets... Hey, as Dalton said in Roadhouse, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Unless they make the appropriate adjustments and moves. And I've given you the time right now. Kevin needs to be gone, and so does Depodesta. You can keep Barry for salary cap restraints, whatever. That's it. Don't let him pick players. Once again, my genius. We'll get the Browns back on track. I mean, we got the talent. We do. You got the quarterback. Top 3 in the game. But you got the worst leadership right now. You ever notice something about our players on our team? They don't get better. They actually regress, just like Stefanski has. Everyone wants to talk about that COVID season. Well, he was coach of the year 3. What Stefanski and these guys did better than everybody else in the league, they taught better from a Zoom atmosphere because they're school teachers. That's all Stefanski is. He's like a fucking instructor, a class instructor, professor. That's it. He's not a football coach. The guy's just not a football coach. The players don't even like him. And I know that for a fact. I know players in that locker room don't respect him. Gerard Sherry said veterans would love to play for him because he's good for the veteran players. But he said they also have taken advantage of Kevin Stefanski's relaxed atmosphere. So instead of listening to guys like Bull, who's a Bengals fan, by the way, and all these other guys like Jay Crawford, who has his fucking mouth all over Stefanski, Jason Lloyd, all these clowns, you listen to me. I play the game. I know the game. And I know how to fix the Cleveland Browns. And that is to get a regular football coach in here and John Dorsey. And this team will be fixed. Without that, next year, you know what you're going to see? 8 games, Stefanski getting fired. The season will be wasted because he won't last 8 games. Deshaun Watson, please, for the love of God, tell Jimmy Haslam to get you who you want as head coach. You did it in Houston, do it in Cleveland now. You need to get your boy Brian Flores and DeMarco Ryans, or even Bieniemy. Anybody but Stefanski. Stefanski has proven. Stephon Diggs, couldn't make it work with Stephon Diggs, best receiver in Minnesota, traded. Couldn't make it work with Odell Beckham, best receiver, traded. And he's doing it now with Deshaun Watson. He's trying to run an offense that's not catered for Deshaun. Deshaun Watson needs to air it out. That's who he is. He's not this guy that's going to, I mean, why would you go back to a 20-yard box with Deshaun Watson? I think Stefanski doesn't want his quarterback to outshine him. I mean, he let Jacoby throw it all over the yard. Stefanski's just not equipped to be a head coach. Fire Stefanski. I would take the job for free, Jimmy. You don't even have to pay me. I guarantee you I won the Super Bowl my first